Hi everyone, today I am here to bring you a full body Pilates Springboard workout. As far as equipment goes for this workout, you need a springboard, a tower, or a Cadillac. I have a mat lined up in front of my springboard. As far as springs go today, we're going to use long, light springs. Mine are long yellow springs with our rollback bar, and we'll use long purple springs or leg springs with loops. That is it. So nice and simple as far as the springs go. As always, please listen to your body and make this workout your own. And when you're ready, we'll get started. All right guys, so I'm all set up. I've taken my roll down bar and I've attached it to my longer light springs. Mine are long yellows from Balanced Body. And I've attached them to number 10 on my springboard, which is above head height for me. It's one down from my top option. Okay, and today we're gonna start standing inside that little space between the springs. So once you're in there, I want you to make sure you're centered. And then you're going to take your hands and wrap them around your bar and bring your bar down to hip height. My feet are about sit bone distance apart, if not just slightly wider. And from here, we're just going to drape our body forward. So our tailbone is going back. Our head, neck, and chest are going forward. I want you to think about lifting through the sit bones. You're going to round the spine down, hands stay on that bar, and then we're going to roll the spine up. And inhale at the top, tailbone goes back, spine leans down. Round the spine at the bottom, roll the spine up. So this is like a standing undulation. Tailbone goes back, flat back or arched spine brings you down. Round your spine at the bottom, roll your spine up. Let's do two more here. Inhale. And exhale. And one more time, inhale, and exhale. Now inhale all the way down and pause. Relax your head, neck, and chest. If it feels good to grab your elbows with your hands and sway side to side, please do. Relax the tension out of the top of your head, let it drain towards the floor. Relaxing the low back, taking the tension out of the ribs, the shoulders, the jaw, and the eyes. Nice. From here, you're going to take your hands and you're going to tiptoe them forward, and we're going to drop our knees down with control onto all fours. So now we're in quadruped, hands under the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. You're going to take your gaze over one shoulder, bringing your hip towards that shoulder, laterally flexing the spine. Come back through center and then arc the body over the other way. So we're bringing right shoulder to right hip, left shoulder to left hip, right shoulder to right hip, left shoulder to left hip. And we'll do two more each direction, searching for that space within the rib cage. Nice. Come back to center. Tailbone is reaching straight back behind you. Hover the knees off the floor. So my toes are tucked under. I'm going to hover my knees off the floor just a little bit. And then I'm going to take my hips up and back, letting my heels drop down, coming into more of a downward dog position. And then come back forward and hover the knees over the floor. And again, up and back. And then forward and hover. If you need to take your knees down to the floor on that quadruped position, please do. Good, rotating around the shoulder joint as you press the hips up and back, tailbone lifts high, and then come forward. Last two here. And last time. Now we're going to end with our knees down or lifted in that quadruped position. Fingertips are pointing straight forward, collarbones are wide. Turn the eyes of the elbows forward so your elbows point backwards. Tip your upper body forward a little bit. Let's go into a supported tricep push-up. Bend the elbows and straighten. And bend the elbows and straighten. So my upper body is coming towards the floor. My hips are staying up and back. Let's do 4 more here. And 3. And 2. And 1. Nice. Lift your hips up and back, straighten your legs, come into that down dog position. Turn your elbows out a little bit wider. Reach your forehead to the space in between your hands, and now bend your elbows wide and straighten. And bend. There's a hair on the mat, it's driving me crazy. And straighten. And bend. And straighten, working into the top of the shoulders. We've got 4 more here. And 3. Belly is still braced. 2. And 1. Now let's alternate between them. So turn your hands forward, bend the knees, tricep push-up, lift the hips up and back, turn the hands slightly in, shoulder press. Elbows turn behind you, tricep push-up, elbows go wide, good, shoulder press. Let's do 4 more rounds of each. If you need or want to go slower than this, please do. Work at a pace that suits you so you get the most out of every muscle and movement. Good, now I've lost track, but I think we've got 2 more rounds. And 1 more set. Very nice job. Walk your fingertips towards your feet. Soften your knees, grab onto your bar, round and roll the spine up. Nice job. Bring the bar to your chest. Sneak away from the wall a little bit, make sure you're still centered. Heels in, toes apart in your Pilates V. Lean into the wind here, pressing the bar forward and bending. Belly is braced. There's that connection between the ribs and the hips. It's really rainy and humid here. And I know my hair is looking all sorts of crazy today, so hopefully you're not paying attention to my hair during these workouts and you're paying more attention to the Pilates. But I just caught myself in the mirror and I thought, oh Jesus. 4 more here, and 3 more here, and 2, and last one. Now hold your arms forward, please. Nice long elbows. Bring your toes till they're facing forward. Lift one heel off the floor. Maybe the knee comes up towards the bar. Replace, lift, replace, lift, replace, lift. Like a slow march. And it doesn't matter to me how high the foot comes off the floor. Good. And if you'd like to pick up the pace, do. Nice for 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Carefully come up onto your feet. Bring your hands to the center of the bar. Readjust your distance if you need to. Heels back together, toes apart, lean into the wind. Press your hands forward and in. I'm reaching slightly up and out, and then down and in. Elbows are on a diagonal, they're not splayed all the way out to the side. 4 more here. 3, 2, and 1. Now we're going to hold the hands a few inches away from the forehead and go back to that march, slow or quick. Lifting the foot off the floor or just articulating through the feet. Elbows are bent. 8, 7, 6, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come all the way up. Turn around. Face towards your bar. Face towards your tower. Take an overhand grip. I like to grab wide. Take a big step back. Feet are about squat distance apart. Now we are going to squat. We're going to hold that squat and we're going to row our elbows back and forward. Back and forward. Nice. Let's keep on going here. While you're in this static squat, check out your position of your body. Make sure that your big toes are pressing down into the floor as much as your pinky toes. Make sure your knees are centered at the center of the feet. Last 4. Spine is long. 3, 2. Now we're going to hold the elbows back and see if you can sit a bit lower and then a bit higher, and a bit lower and a bit higher. That bar is close to the chest. You've got 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now standing up, turning to an underhand grip. I know I need to walk forward a little more. We are going to do a bicep curl. So the closer you are, you probably know this to the tower, the less tension you have. The further away, the more tension. So adjust as necessary for each exercise. Feet are the same distance apart. Let's bend the elbows and sit back into a squat. And then come on up and release the arms. Shoulders are right over the hips now as you squat. In our row, they were a little forward of the hips. Good. How low should you go in your squat? It depends on your knees. If you're not feeling any discomfort in the knees, feel free to go low. If you'd like to stop a little higher, if you're feeling discomfort, stop higher. Last 2. And last 1. Now we're going to stand up for a moment and bring our heels together and our toes apart in Pilates V. We're going to go back to that bicep curl. You can choose to stay with that same type of squat you were doing before, or an option is to take it a little bit lower, tapping the hips down to the floor. So I'm going to do that option. Bend the elbows, sit down. Maybe your hips tap down, then we lift back up, and then we rise up and release the arms. Bend, tap. Nice. Let's do 3 more here. No momentum, please. Use the control of your muscles. Last 2. And 1. Come halfway up only. Just the bicep curl. Hands to forehead. Hands to forehead. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Very nice. Stand up. I'm just going to adjust my mat a little bit so it's less crooked. And then we're going to come down to the floor, facing in towards the tower with our hands on our bar. Now I'm going to go hands to the center of the bar, one hand on top of the other, bringing my feet about shoulder distance apart. And if you're on a springboard, they're up against that wooden dowel. You could have your feet up against your uprights if you're on a tower. One hand on top of the other, please. Seated nice and tall. A little gentle pressure down on your bar. Tuck your tailbone, under. Roll the spine back. Collarbones wide. Roll the spine up. And again, roll the spine back. Use that pelvic tilt to bring you down. Maintain that pelvic tilt until you get up on top of the pelvis. Last 2. One more. Now stay down here. Make sure you've got a good grip with your bottom hand. Take your top hand back behind you. Let's just take a beautiful stretch over to one side. If you'd like to cross your ankles, you can as well, reaching to the same side the arm is. Just try to find a stretch down through the obliques, through the waistline. And then come back center. Bend your knees. Take that free hand behind your head. Let's curl up about halfway and then back down. And up halfway and back down. Try your best to keep your shoulders square to the wall in front of you. Try your best to take that pelvic tilt back down to the floor so that your sacrum can land before your mid-back. Last 3. If your grip is faltering, readjust. Last 1. Now we're going to angle our body slightly and do the same thing. Curl up and down. Up and down. Nice. Notice that your knees should still feel even with one another. Thighs parallel. 4 more. 3 more. And last 1. Roll all the way up. Extend your legs forward. Switch out your grip. Opposite hand goes on the bar. Let's roll down and up a few times here. Down. Opening the collarbones. And up. And down. And up. Last 1. Let's stay down. Release that top hand. Find your lateral flexion, crossing the ankle over the opposite ankle if it feels good. Come back center. Hand behind the head, both knees bend, thighs are parallel to one another. Curl halfway up and down. Last 3. And 1. Now we're going to angle our body so that bar reaches towards the wall in front of us. The other elbow goes wide. And then come up on that little diagonal. 4 more. And 1. Roll all the way up. Grab the bar with both hands. Slip your feet over top of the bar so that the backs of your knees are over top of it. Roll your spine down. You can use your hands if you'd like. Anchor your feet on the floor. Heels are down, toes are lifted. Make sure that bar feels as comfortable as it can. Bring your hands behind your head. Exhale, curl forward. Inhale, lower back. Exhale, ribs to hips. Gaze towards the thighs. Nice, lengthening your spine back, not just dropping, but lengthening, eking all you can out of every bit of the exercise. Last 2. Last 1. And now we go back to that rotation. We're going to alternate. Heels are still grounded. 4 more here. And 1. Come back center. Lower the head down for a moment. Bring your knees up. Grab onto the bar with your hands. Lift your shins up. And then when you're ready, curl your head, neck, and chest forward. Try to get that bar to come away from the backs of your thighs. Let's start our 100. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale. I'd like you to imprint your spine here and tuck your tailbone under slightly. We don't always do that. We're going to do that today. And 4. And exhale. Take a break for your neck if you need it. Inhale. And exhale. Round 6. And exhale. Round 5. Round 7. And exhale. Round 8. And exhale. Mom brain. 9. And exhale. Last time. And exhale. And roll down. Drape your legs over the bar again. Curl your head, neck, and chest forward and bend your elbows out to the sides. Let's see if we can roll up from here. It might take you a few times. Good. Now pause at the top and see if you can hover your feet. We're going to do rolling like a ball here. If you need more tension on your spring, scooch back. That'll give you a slight bit more support. Tailbone under, that pelvic tilt brings you back to your shoulders. Gaze stays towards the thighs, and then we roll back up and hover the feet. Try to keep the thighs and the chest equidistant throughout the exercise, so there's none of this, okay? Everything stays together. Shoulders are down. I can see you. 3, 2, and 1. Now we're going to keep going, but if you'd like to, you can do open leg rocker instead. So the hands are slightly wider than the legs. The backs of the knees or thighs are pressing into the bar just slightly. Take a breath, inhale here. Exhale, curl your head, neck, and chest up. Feet a little narrower than the springs, perhaps. Rolling forward and down. Forward and down. Find that balance at the top. Nice. 3 more. 2 more. And 1. Nice job. All right, let's slip our feet out from there and lay down on our side. So you're going to take one hand onto the bar. You're going to lay down on your side. You're going to bring your top foot forward and your bottom foot back. Align yourself so that your hips are stacked. One foot is pressing against the wooden dowel, one toe is pressing underneath, or maybe you have a board here, or maybe you have your feet against your poles. This exercise is different depending on the equipment you're on, but you do want to have your feet, the ability for your feet to feel anchored. Okay, your bottom hand is behind your head. Stabilize through your lower body, keep your hips stacked. When you're ready, we float up a little bit and down a little bit, and up a little bit and down a little bit. You can extend your bottom arm if you'd like as well. Nice, 4 more here. And 3. And 2. And 1. Turn onto your back. Grab your hand, opposite hand at the center of the bar. Establish your side line. Establish your feet, stack your hips, and when you're ready, we lift and lower. My 2 sides are so different as far as how high I can lift, how long I can lift. 3 more, and 2, and 1. Come all the way up, release your bar, turn back over onto your first side. Come up onto your hand. Bring your hand slightly beyond the line of the shoulder. Cross your top foot over your bottom foot and make sure you have a little space between you and the tower. From here, we're going to come up either onto the knees into a side plank or onto the feet in a side plank. And then come on down and hover the hips over the floor. And again, up and over and hover. And up and over and hover. For 4, 3, 2. This is a very elegant exercise. Last one. Come up and over. Hold for a moment. See if you can lift your hips and your ribs, expanding that top waist a little longer. Hold for 4, 3, 2. Now we transition into plank. Knees can be down or lifted. And then we shift over onto the other side and lower the hips. Good. From here, hand is a little beyond the line of the shoulder. With your knees down or lifting your knees, come up and over and down and up and over and down. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Stay lifted. Find more expansion through the top ribs, more lift through the bottom hip. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Transition into plank. Lift your hips up. Walk your hands to your feet. Roll the spine up. And let's change our springs, okay? So I'm just gonna take my push-through bar down. My roll-down bar down just to get it out of the way. And then I'm gonna put my long purple springs on. These are my leg springs. Let's go with level 5. That's standing hip height for me, okay? Then we're gonna come down onto our back. If possible, I'd like you to be in a long arm's distance away from your springboard. Place your feet into your loops. Arms up or down. I prefer down if possible, just because I think it provides more of a connection between the ribs and the hips. But if your arms are up, just make sure those ribs aren't flaring and you still have that connection, okay? Let's bring our shins parallel to the floor. Knees over the hips, slightly wider than the springs. Press out and point your toes. Flex your feet and bend your knees. Press out and point your toes. Pull in and bend your knees. I'm maintaining tension on the springs throughout. There's no slack. Ooh, my heels are squiggly. Nice, let's do 4 more here. Tailbone is heavy, spine is neutral. Your pelvis is parallel to the floor, right? So your hip bone and your pubic bone are parallel to the floor. Last 2. And last 1. Now you're gonna bend your knees. Notice the bend at the knee, the angle of the bend. Maintain that angle as you tip your knees forward and your heels down towards the floor, and then bring the knees back up. And again, tip that shape down, tip that shape up. We'll add on from here, tip that shape down, push your feet out along the floor, point your toes, lift your legs back up, and then bend your knees back into frog, all while maintaining tension on your spring. The knees end up right above the hips. We tip the heels forward, slide the legs out along the floor, zip up the inner thighs, the toes point, bring the legs up, and then bend. If you've got it and you want to move a little quicker, let's do that. Heels down, reach, lift, bend. Heels down, reach, lift, bend. Last 4. Last 3. If you feel like you're sliding, now's the time where you could put your hands up. Last time. Nice. Bring your knees into your chest. Let's reverse that. So you're going to start by pressing your legs out long. Then you're going to lower your legs down towards the floor. Flex your feet, drag your heels back in to about a 90-degree angle behind the knees, and then bring that shape back up. So press, lower, slide in and up. Press, lower, slide in and up. A little quicker if you'd like. Let's do 4 more. So in its simplest form, this is a circle, right? 3, 2, and 1. Nice, long legs. Give them just a moment. Reset your pelvis. Engage your abdominals. Turn the soles of your feet down towards the floor. Now one long leg is going down, and switch. And switch. Sliding the legs past one another. Maintaining that tension on your spring. Nice. 4, 3, and 1. And then let's do 2 scissors and a big circle, keeping tension on your springs. 1, 2, circle around. 1, 2, circle around. Last 4, 3, and one more time. Nice, and hug those knees in, and take your straps off. Good, roll yourself up. Let's take our purple springs a little bit higher. I put them up on number 7, but that's about 6 inches away from the floor, the handles, just so you know, or the loops. And then we're gonna lay down, but we're gonna put our feet into the loops and lay down from here. So you wanna be a little bit away from your springboard because you wanna be able to not hit the springs against the wooden dowel. Okay, and we're gonna try to anchor our feet down. Now, if this feels too heavy and impossible, you could go to your long yellow, your lighter level springs instead. This is lots of hamstrings, okay? So feet stay down, big toes and pinky toes are anchored. Now we lift the hips up coming into our bridge, and then we tap the hips down. And lift, and tap. And lift, and tap. Nice, let's do 5 more here. 3, 2, and 1. Now can you hold the hips up and lift one foot and lower it, and lift the other foot and lower it, maintaining the height of the pelvis as you switch side to side. For 4 and 3, like a little march, 2 and 1, and both heels anchored down, and lift the hips higher, and just pulse the hips up here for 8, 7, 6, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hips come down, roll yourself up. Take those straps now and place the backs of your ankles into them. Scooch even further back away from the wall. So your legs are supported by your springs. Your hands are behind your head. Good. From here, we're just curling forward and down. And forward and down. Feet together, you've got 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Now curl forward and reach your hands forward, and let's start our 100 again. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale. So this is a nice way, we're doing this in the middle of class, but it's a nice way to build somebody up to the 100 with their feet supported slightly, as opposed to floating in the air. Right? You still get that long leg position, but you just are carrying less weight. A few more. 3 more. 2 more. Last time. Roll down. Big extension of the arms overhead. Nice. Bring your hands back above your shoulders. We're going to do a roll up. If you need to take your feet out of your loops, you can. Take a breath, inhale. Exhale, reach your hands forward. Try to keep those feet elevated, and we roll the spine up. And then we roll the spine down, tailbone down. Inhale the arms up, exhale, rolling up. It's tricky. Sitting up and rolling down. Let's do 2 more here. Whew. The struggle's real. And one more time. Nice. Here, if it feels good, take a big forward fold, allowing your heels to come down. You can grab onto your wooden dowel or your uprights if you have the range to do so. Nice job. All right, let's take our feet out of here. You can take off your purple springs. I'm going to move my arm springs, my longer springs. I'm going to bring them down to number 8. Okay, that's shoulder height for me. I'm going to put my roll down bar back up. And then we're going to come down to lying on our belly, facing towards the tower for some back extension. So come on down. Be at least an arm's distance from the bar, from the wall. Take both of your hands onto your dowel. And then let's anchor our elbows down slightly forward of the ribs. Nice. From here, you're already in back extension. Your tailbone is reaching towards your heels. Your feet are wide. And we're just going to press the forearms down and lift the forearms up. So it's like a sneaky little tricep press to begin. As you press the forearms down, maybe your upper back lifts up higher into back extension. And then as your hands lift, your forehead can kind of meet the bar. So we press the bar down, coming up into back extension, and then find more of like a long spine as the bar comes up. Nice, last 2. And last one. Now try to anchor the forearms down, anchor the hands down. I know that's a lot of tension. We're going to do single leg kick. One leg kicks in, pointed foot, flexed foot, pointed foot, and reach. Other side, point, flex, point, reach. Your belly is lifted. Your spine is long. And your arms are working hard. Last time, point, flex, point, reach. Now, if it feels comfortable for your shoulders, lengthen your arms forward. My hands are wider than the springs. Take a breath, inhale here. Widen your feet if it feels better. Exhale, press the bar down with straight arms, coming into back extension. And then float the bar up and bring your ears in line with your biceps. And again, long arm press, lift, and lower, and lift, and lower. Let's do 3 more. And 1. Nice, and then float your bar up. Maybe your forehead can come to the mat and get that release in the shoulders. Good. And then we'll carefully prop ourselves up into a kneeling position. Grabbing onto your bar. Feet about sit bone distance apart. Toes can be together behind you or separated. Inhale here, get nice and tall. Exhale, round the spine forward. Placing your fists on the floor underneath your shoulders. Extend your spine long. Round your spine again. And then roll the spine up, trying to keep the hips over the knees as best you can. Inhale here. Exhale. Reaching forward and down towards the floor, rounded spine. Once the hands find the floor, extend your spine. Round it again. And then roll the spine up, keeping the hips forward over the knees. Let's do 2 more. Inhale here. Exhale, round forward. Extend. Round. Roll up. 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 Extend. Round. Ro Last time, round. Extend, round, roll up. Bring your knees closer to one another. Round the spine forward. Anchor the knuckles down. Reach one leg back behind you. Square off your pelvis. Now pull the knee into the chest and out. And in and out. Keep those hands steady. 3, 2, 1. That knee comes down. Switch sides. Round and out. Round and out. Last 3. Last 2. And 1. Nice job. Come both knees down. Round the spine to roll up. Press the bar down to your thighs. Lean the body back in one nice long line. And come up. And again, hands in. Lean back. And come up. Last 2. And last time through. Come all the way up. Release the bar. And you guys are all done. I hope you enjoyed that tower workout. Please leave me a comment or a question down below. Let me know what you'd like to see next. As always, please subscribe, share, and join the membership if you'd like more videos like this. And I'll see you again soon. Thanks, guys.